Slowbro is the single best defender in the game right now. Today I'm going to show you the strategies that are used in this game to ensure that we have the best chances to win as possible, along with some builds and extra tips throughout this video. Starting off with the build I use this game, XP share is crucial here, as if you don't know already, XP share grants extra XP by giving you 30% and your nearby teammate 100%, along with Buddy Barrier and Resonant Guard to be the best teammate that you can be. There is only 2 builds in this video, since Slowbro is more reliant on the enemy team for its move options, as you will see in this video. I've swapped out Buddy Barrier here for choice specs for a little bit of extra damage if that's what you prefer. So as you can see here, I've picked Water Gun as my first move to make sure you finish off those starting bumblebees as fast as possible, so you can get to the Indeedee or the Baltoy that spawns in your lane right about when you get there. As you can see here, I'm lining up the Water Gun to try and hit both bumblebees, but I don't think it happens right here because the Hone Edge is already attacking the first bumblebee. See here that I'm charging up to finish off this Indeedee. Both these enemies are attacking, so with how much health is remaining, I should release this in the next second or so to make sure I secure it. There we go. You want to make sure you secure, especially while your teammate's close like that, just to give them the extra edge and prevent the other team from taking that XP from you. You can see right here, I'm right at the break point to get my evolution. I just need to finish off one more enemy, get one score, finish off a piece of farm, and then I'll get my evolution. And so you make sure that you secure those so that you get your evolution before the enemy team. I do miss the secure here, but fortunately the Hone Edge managed to get it before the enemy team could. But right here is very crucial. The way you pick your move at level 4 with Slowbro is depending on how many physical attackers the enemy team has. So you can see here there's a Blaziken, there's a Ceruledge, and so there's a couple physical attackers that you can abuse Scold with. Scold specifically because the burn from Scold will reduce the physical attack of enemies. And if their main attacking stat is not their physical stat, say you have a team of, instead of Ceruledge and Torchic here, say it was Dragapult and Sylveon, you wouldn't want to use Scold here because the secondary effect of Scold doesn't really do anything in this matchup. But judging by my team, I've gone with Scold just because the Ceruledge is very threatening. Blaziken as well can be very annoying to deal with, so if I can get that burn in the big team fights, then that will help my team a lot. You can see we're ready for the Baltoy that spawns at 9 minutes for both lanes, ready for the Altarias to spawn at 8 minutes and 50, so that we're making sure we're back there as soon as possible. My teammate does manage to pick up a few of these Swabloos, and I do manage to get the Altaria there, but that's all about being prepared and making sure you're at that spot ready for the Altarias to spawn. Yeah, I'm just helping to get my teammate's farm, helping him to get higher level as fast as possible. I do believe that this Aegislash ends up being higher level than our central area in this game, and I think that's definitely helped by the XP share. You can see here that I'm signalling for the Doublade to go to the central area, which is mainly because there's more Altarias that will spawn there at 8 minutes, and that's a central spawn, and so you got to make sure you get there before the enemy team, and you'll see why in a second. You can see we get up there right at the same time as the Ceruledge, but because there's more of us and we start, attacking the Swabloos first, we do take that experience and he has to back off, which gives us the Aegislash evolution. See here, instead of going for the Swablu straight away, I'm making sure the Glaceon backs off so that my team can take the Altaria instead of the enemy team. Remember, it's not always about you getting the XP, it's more about, as a defender, for your team to get the experience. This is partially a problem of mine. I did use my Scold a bit too early, and so I couldn't secure the Regice. Luckily we had a Venusaur with Solar Beam to secure it, but you want to make sure you have a securing move to make sure you finish off those objectives. This is a crucial moment right here. You can see that I'm picking up a few more points because there's 18 left and I have 5 left, but my teammate has 30, so we're going to try and make sure that we overcap the goal as much as possible because again, if you didn't know, when you score in this game, if you go over the limit of the goal, it will still count. So you want to make sure there's as little as possible in that goal left before a big point score, so that you overcap a little bit more. Right here you can see I've used my Unite move on the Cerulege to make sure my Aegislash can get away, because you don't want your key player to go down just like that, especially with 40 points. It would have been a pretty big loss, and so I'm essentially sacrificing myself in a way to make sure he gets out there. Of course I do go down here, but again I would much rather I go down rather than the Aegislash, especially if your teammate is a lot higher level than their team. If they go down, the enemy team is going to get a lot of catch-up experience, and you do not want that. Again, you can see I'm going up to the top path, even though the enemy team there's quite a lot of them in the bottom. I'm making sure I'm with my team so I can protect them as a defender. You don't really want to be just sat alone, especially if you're using a supporter with a similar build to this. You want to be with your team more times than not, rather than just solo manning the goal that's likely going to go down anyway. So we're bringing the team down to the bottom lane so we can collectively attack the Reggie to make sure we can protect the objective until the enemy either backs off or dies, and then we can take it ourselves. You can see the Gardevoir is approaching, but I immediately turn to attack the Gardevoir rather than getting the Reggie, because it's way too dangerous to get the Reggie even lower. Otherwise the Gardevoir could sneak in and steal it. But luckily, as you can see, the Aegislash has dealt with it. I now go up to make sure this Pikachu doesn't snipe it, but of course the team is able to finish it off just in time. Once again there, I was trying to draw as much attention to myself by attacking the Blaziken to get them away from the Aegislash. I didn't mention this earlier, but make sure you don't use your Unite move after 3 minutes and 30 seconds have passed, to make sure you still have your Unite move for the Rayquaza fight. Slowbro in particular, here's a tip here. To make sure you use your Unite move on the enemy carry around your team specifically, so you can take them out as fast as possible in that Rayquaza fight. Mainly because Slowbro is so good at isolating a target for your team. But in this Rayquaza fight, you're going to be looking for the enemy team rather than Rayquaza itself, because the lower he gets, again, someone else can come in and snap it, and then you lose the Rayquaza and probably lose the game. You can see here that there's a Glaceon attacking my Aegislash, who is low already, and there's a Gardevoir coming in, and so I'm going to make sure I use my Unite move to protect my Aegislash and isolate a carry. Of course, that likely probably wasn't the best move there. I probably should have gone for the Glaceon, but you can see here how reviewing your own footage and looking back on your own mistakes can improve yourself as a player. See here, my team does slowly start to go out, and I'm now the last remaining Pokemon on my team. But because they do not realise I'm still alive and that I'm still in the area, I'm able to sit here with my Scald. You're not going to be able to get this off all the time unless you're using something like Cinderace, because it's likely the enemy team is going to use something that secures it. But in situations like this, it's always best to try than not. So I'm sitting here in this bush ready to get this Rayquaza and take it for my team, which I do manage to do here. Unfortunately, of course, I do go down, and so this game does end up in a loss. But if I was able to get away there, say if I had Surf instead, I reckon we could have actually won that game. With Slowbro, it's all about being the best teammate possible, and especially with the Unite move, isolating that carry and taking them out of the Rayquaza fight for your team to succeed. As a final little tidbit, I'm almost at my Unite move again, and so I'm going to try and attack this in DD just in case someone comes along, and make sure it's impossible for them to get any score in if I have my Unite move, and immobilize them for a period of time that's likely the end of the game. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to learn another top contending defender, try my Umbreon video on screen now, along with another video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy.